Okay. Welcome, Brandy. It's nice to meet you in person.
Yeah, thank you. You too.
Yeah. Sue and Tom spoke very highly of you, said that you were interested in buying your first home.
I am, yeah. Sue and Tom, know them from church. They're awesome people, and yeah, I've been talking. I know they just bought a house not too long ago, and yeah, I'm super excited.
Great.
Never done this before, so I'm kind of nervous.
Perfect. All right, so I sent you some stuff ahead of time. Did you get a chance to take a look at that?
I did. I kind of skimmed through it kind of quick,
fine.
but yeah, I got it.
Okay, we're going to go through some of that, answer some questions, and really ask you some questions. But first of all, have you talked to a lender? Are you pre-approved? Have you done any of that yet?
No, I don't even know how.
Perfect.
Okay.
We'll go through that, and I have a list of amazing lenders that I can give you.
Okay.
So you can reach out to any of them, and they will take great care of you.
Awesome.
So
Excellent.
I'll give that to you before you leave, and we'll get going on the right track.
Okay. Very good.
So first of all, again, I sent this to you. I'm not going to go through everything. I'm sure you noticed there were a ton of questions that were asked in this guide, and it's really just trying to get you thinking about the different things that you want in a home. Okay.
Okay.
So the main thing, I'm going to kind of skip through this until we get to the process of what it looks like to buy your house. So again, while these were the questions that you hopefully skimmed through,
Sure.
we'll come back to those. So really what I want to look at is how buying a home works. Okay, we're going to go through the process so that you kind of understand what it is that you're getting into, first of all.
Please help me.
Yes. All right, so the first step is to partner with an agent. So obviously you're doing that now, where we'll get to know the different neighborhoods that you're interested in, exactly what it is that you're looking for in a house, so that we're not wasting your time or your gas going to look at homes that don't meet your criteria.
Yeah.
And also things that you're not approved for. That's why we need to talk to the lender. So we want to make sure we know exactly what it is that you can afford and what you're comfortable paying.
Yeah, makes total sense.
Okay, perfect. And that's where this step 2, where we talk about getting approved for a loan. So like I said, when you leave here, you'll have a list of different lenders that you can talk to. They'll go through, look at your finances, and let you know which loan is best for you based on your situation.
Okay.
Okay?
Very
So once we have all of that done and we know the criteria that you're looking for, then we actually get to do the fun stuff and start looking for houses.
Yay.
Yes. So I will set you up with your own portal, so you will have access to all the homes on the market through MLS, listed with agents. I also keep a finger on homes within your criteria that might be for sale by owners. So they don't have an agent. So if we can find those, especially in this market, those might be nice for us to try to get one of those.
Oh, okay.
So,
very good.
Yeah, might be able to get it cheaper and with no competition.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Oh my gosh, yes.
And we'll talk about the market because it is definitely an interesting market that we're in right now. So we'll go through all that before you leave here today.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
So you'll get a portal, you'll be able to look at the different homes that are available. You'll be able to mark which ones that you like as favorites, and I will automatically get a notification, and then I can reach out and we'll schedule a time to go look at that house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the way that the market is, homes go very quickly right now. So what's your schedule like? Do you work during the day? Is it flexible?
Yeah, I pretty much work through the day. I get off at like 4 every day.
Okay. So we would just want to schedule the showings for as quickly as we can after you get off work.
Okay.
So we have an opportunity to go in, take a look at them, and put in any offers that you might want to on homes.
Okay, I can kind of make it a lunch break. I can go on my lunch break too.
Perfect.
Sometimes I can do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, if we see them early enough in the day, we can certainly try to do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
So once we find your perfect home, this is where we have your first financial obligation when an offer is accepted. So we put in an offer and you put down an earnest deposit. Okay. So the earnest deposit just lets the seller know that you are serious about the house, you're committed, it's you putting a stake down into the
Is that kind of like your down payment? Or?
It's separate from your down payment. So it's going to go towards your closing costs. So it's just going to even out in the end, but it is something that you're just, putting that down, saying, I'm serious about this house, I really want it. Typically we do about $500 or $1,000
Okay.
for the earnest deposit.
I got that.
Okay? Like I said, it'll credit at the end, so it'll just lower your closing costs, or it goes towards your down payment with all of those different things kind of roll them in together.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
So that's your first financial obligation. Then we also have inspections. Okay? So we recommend that everybody do inspections. There are a slew of different inspections that you can get. It's gonna depend on the house. Okay, so I do have something that I'll give you that goes over all the different inspections.
Okay.
But it's gonna be based on the house that you pick, the age of the house, the condition of the house, on what I'm gonna recommend you doing as far as inspections and how in depth we go. You'll definitely get a whole home inspection, which typically runs about $325, $350.
Okay.
A termite inspection is typically $75 to $100, and a radon test is $100. Do you know what radon is?
What's radon?
Okay, radon is a gas that naturally occurs in the ground, and it can come up through your foundation, or even if you have a slab home, it can come up into your house. And essentially, it is equivalent to smoking cigarettes. It can cause lung cancer and all the effects that smoking can cause.
Wow.
So,
Okay, I had no idea.
yeah, so we definitely recommend getting a radon test in every home unless they already have a mitigation system in place.
Okay.
So typically your inspections are gonna run anywhere between $500 and $800, just depending, because you might want to get a sewer scope, we might have to get a structural engineer, there's just a lot of different things that could come up.
Okay.
But do you have the funds for that as
Yeah.
well?
Yeah, I do. So I've got earnest money and I've got inspections. Yes.
Okay,
I've got
perfect.
that.
And then the rest of your down payment and closing costs will be at closing. So typically that'll be 30 or 45 days from the date of an accepted offer.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. I think I should have that.
Perfect. Okay. So then, while we're under contract, I've already talked about the home inspection that we do. Then once we get through the home inspection and any things that come up on the home inspection that are wrong with the house, let's say there is radon, we can ask, we have a 10-day period to do all inspections and to ask the seller to fix any of those things. Okay. Or we can ask for a reduction in your price or whatever that looks like, and how you would like to proceed.
Okay. Awesome.
So-
yeah, that'd be great if they could fix some of those things.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
so we'll take that as it comes, and then we have a period of time where we get to renegotiate everything. Once that happens and everything is set, that's typically when I have the lender order the appraisal. Okay.
Oh.
Do you know
the
what an appraisal is?
I've heard of it. I guess I don't know what that is.
Perfect. So it is done by a third party. So the lender goes in and requests in a portal an appraiser to come out and take a look at the house. They're going to look at the measurements, like the dimensions, make sure that the square footage is correct on the house. They're going to look through things. They're going to look at the roof. They're going to check that the water turns on. Some of the major things like the electrical panel, they're not going to do a whole home inspection. But essentially what they're going to do is see things that have sold in the past, and they're going to come up with a price that the lender will then say, this is it, this is what we can loan on. And this is the only, like, if we're under contract, let's say for $200,000,
Okay.
and the appraiser comes back and says, yeah, the value of the house is $205,000. Well, that's great. You have a $5,000 equity going into it.
That's great. Yeah.
Yes.
Love that.
So just making sure that you're not paying more than what the house is worth.
Okay.
Protecting your interest and the lender's interest. Okay.
Okay.
So that's the appraisal process. So as long as everything goes smoothly there and it comes in at value, we don't have any issues and we get to move forward. If it comes in low, then we have another renegotiation process with the seller to try to negotiate and figure out what we're gonna do.
Okay. So if it comes in low, we kind of have, okay.
Yeah, so the options there are, you pay the difference, the seller pays the difference, you split the difference, the seller agrees to come down, or we walk away and you can get your earnest deposit back at that point in time.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so we try to do everything possible to make sure that doesn't happen, but appraisers are third parties, so we don't ever know who we're gonna get, and we just kind of roll with the flow on that.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
So during that time, after we get through with that stuff, really it's just you communicating with the lender. They're gonna be asking you probably for all kinds of documents, tax records if they haven't already,
Yeah.
paycheck stubs, all of that stuff. You'll get your homeowner's insurance figured out, which I do have some recommendations and I'm sure the lender will as well. And then as we get closer to the closing date, we schedule a final walkthrough. So we walk through the property to make sure that it's in the same condition that it was when we went under contract.
Okay.
And if everything is good, then we have our fun, exciting closing day.
Yeah. Okay.
So with that, you just are doing your hand exercises so that you're ready to sign the millions of pages of paper that you're gonna have.
Okay. Okay.
So that kind of brings us to the closing. Okay, so I've kind of alluded to a little bit about closing costs, and you had mentioned down payment as well. So I want to go ahead and show you this page here. It goes over the different closing costs and how they work. So you'll see it's split into two. So we've got the seller side and we've got a buyer side. Okay, obviously you are going to be the buyer side. So here you're responsible for half of title and escrow fees. So title fees, those are from the title company. So that just makes sure that you have a clear title and that there's no liens or anything on the property. Okay. Your escrow fees, you're gonna get a credit from the seller for the portion of the year that they own the house for taxes.
Okay.
So let's say you buy the house July 1st. Okay, they've owned the house for 6 months. You're gonna own the house for 6 months. So whatever the taxes are, let's say it's $3,000 for the year, they're gonna give you a credit of $1,500. Okay, so that's gonna deduct from some of these other fees. Okay, you're gonna pay 1 whole year of your homeowner's insurance up front, plus a couple of extra months. Okay, the reason that we say plus a couple of extra months is because the title company sets up the escrow account with your lender. So do you know what an escrow account is?
I don't really.
Well, not
I
really.
think I should know, but I don't.
If you've never owned a house, there's no reason to know what an escrow account is. So escrow is where we collect your homeowner's insurance and your taxes so that there's enough money at the end of the year to pay your taxes, for example, because taxes are always due December 31st. So they're just collecting money in this escrow account for you so that they have enough accumulated to be able to pay taxes. Your lender takes care of all of that. Same thing with your homeowner's insurance. So you're gonna pay a year of that up front. So you're covered for a year. But the reason they start collecting extra is because they're building it up to be able to pay next year the same time for your homeowner's insurance when it's due.
That makes sense.
Okay?
Yeah.
So typically you're gonna see a fluctuation every year on your, or at least every other year on your payment. Because taxes change, and if you get a new homeowner's insurance policy, your insurance amount might change too. So your payment's gonna change slightly.
So the insurance and the taxes are in with my down payment?
They're in with your monthly payment.
Your monthly payment, okay.
Yes. So it covers principal, interest, and then your insurance and taxes are all in your payment. So
well, that's kind of nice. You can pay on it a little bit throughout the year instead of getting,
and you don't have to worry about those. Like, for myself, I have to set reminders of when all my bills are due. Well, homeowner's insurance and taxes, I don't have to worry about because whoever the lender is takes care of it.
It just happens.
It just happens magically.
I love that.
Behind the scenes.
And I need that.
Yes.
Okay, great.
The other thing in your closing costs are going to be the lender fees. So it all depends on the lender. I'm going to estimate $1,000 to $1,500. That also includes your appraisal, which is typically about $500. So if you're buying a $200,000 house, for example, you can probably estimate your closing costs to be around $5,000.
$5,000. Okay.
That doesn't include a down payment.
Okay. And my, what'd you call it? Earnest money or something?
Earnest money will, So if you put, let's say, $1,000 down, then that would change what you do at closing to $4,000.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay. Yep. So, and then you got the seller side, which you don't really have to worry about that. They have to pay commissions.
I was gonna say, I don't see commissions over here.
The seller actually pays for me to represent you.
What?
Yes.
I don't have to pay your commission?
No, you do not.
The seller's gonna pay your commission?
Yeah. 99% of the time, the seller pays the commission. The only time...
That's pretty sweet.
Yes. The only time that could change is if, I was mentioning for sale by owners. If we find one of those and they don't agree to pay my commission, then that would be something that we would have to figure out, either put it into your loan or figure out something else with that. But again, 99% of the time, my commission is taken care of from the seller.
Okay. Good to know. That's awesome.
Any questions about this? Do you feel comfortable with the amount of money that you would need to be able to move forward?
Yep. I've almost got it. Like by the time we close, I'm gonna I know I have it because I'm getting my tax return.
Perfect.
It's coming back. So
okay, good.
we should be good.
All right. So let's talk real quick about, since you feel good with the amount of money that you would be responsible for, let's talk about the fun stuff and what it is that you want in a house.
Okay.
So I know you had a lot of those questions that came through. So first of all, what's your situation right now? Are you renting, living with family members?
I'm renting right now, but my landlord just raised the rent, and I'm not happy about that. I really don't. I feel like I can buy a house possibly for the same amount I'm paying for rent.
Probably less.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yes.
So, and I've been there a long time, and it's kind of fallen apart, and I just think I'm ready to look at something else. Like, if I can buy something, I think I'd like to.
Okay, perfect. So are you in a lease? Are you month to month?
I'm month to month right now.
Okay.
I've been there so long, they know me,
Okay,
they just
good.
let me go month to month.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes it a little bit easier to be able to manage that. Okay, so tell me, are you thinking like, are you wanting a single family home? Are you open to condos, townhomes, duplexes? What's that look like for you?
That's a great question. I think I really want a single family home.
Okay.
Because I do want to have a family someday.
Okay.
So I think that's what I would like. I don't really know much about condos or townhouses, and I don't think I want a duplex and have a neighbor living right next to me. That's not really, I mean, I've had enough of that, and they're very crazy sometimes. So I think I'm looking for a single family home. I'm ready to have my own space.
Okay. So how many bedrooms do you need?
I was thinking 3.
Okay.
I could have a guest bedroom, an office, and then my bedroom. So I think 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
And bathrooms?
At least 2.
2?
At
Okay.
least 2. Yeah, if I
Okay.
can. I don't like sharing my bathroom with guests and stuff.
Okay, perfect. And what about location? Do you have, like, do you need it within, do you have to go into work?
Yeah, I work on the Kansas side, so I do kind of need something near highway access, but other than that, I'm pretty open, anywhere from like Grandview, Blue Springs, Lee Summit, somewhere in that area, Grandview Triangle area maybe even. Like,
Okay.
I think I'd like to be within 20 minutes of work, and I'm just on the other side of Kansas.
And you want to
State line.
stay in, you want to buy
I want to buy in Missouri, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
I hear the property, you can get more house over here
Yes.
is what I've heard, the taxes are a little better, so.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So what I can do when I set up the search, once we have your approval from the lender, is I can put in the address of your work, and I can do a 20-mile radius around your work.
That'd be great.
And then that way we know that we are within that radius of of what you want it to be. Okay.
Perfect.
All right. Okay. So tell me a little bit more about what you envision when you think of the perfect home for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I really would like something with hardwood floors, because carpet just kind of grosses me out,
Okay.
especially if it's carpet that somebody else used to live in. So hardwood floors or some kind of vinyl, some kind of,
Okay.
something I can clean.
That's not carpet.
That's not carpet.
Okay.
Got it. I really would like something kind of updated, and I'm not super handy, so I don't really want to go in and like fix something up. But if it could already be kind of updated and cute.
So when you say updated, are you talking like you want granite countertops? You
I'd
want
love
like
it if
a tan-
possible.
Okay.
But I like the gray walls, the white trim. I don't
Okay.
like the oak. I don't like, I don't know what I can afford and what my price range will be,
Right.
but I'm assuming it might be an older home.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fine as long as it looks cute.
Okay, perfect. What about garages?
I would like a garage, at least a
Okay.
1-car garage. I'd like to park my car in there in the winter and stuff. So
Okay. And most everybody that I meet with says they want open concept.
open concept would be great. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's
Because I do
very,
plan to entertain.
yes, okay. So with entertaining, that brings me to like backyard,
Mhm.
deck, patio, fenced in yard. What are our visions there?
It can be a deck or a patio. I don't necessarily care. I would like someplace to put a little table and chair setup out there. If it had a fence, that would be great. I don't have a dog yet, but would like to get one. But that's not a deal breaker. If the neighbors could be a little further out, that'd be great.
Okay.
But again, just a personal preference. It's not a deal breaker.
Okay. And talk to me about like the layout of the home. So stairs, no stairs. Do you have a preference there?
I don't really have a preference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So as we go into homes, being your first home, you may not be aware of all the different layouts that we have available. So there's somewhere when you walk in, you have stairs that go up and down. We call that a split entry. Okay, we have some where there's a living room on that same area. So as we go through, we'll just kind of see what you like and what you don't like.
Okay.
And if there's ones that you're like if we were to walk into a split engine, you're like, oh, I really don't like this, then we would just take that out of your search criteria.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. But since you've not had a house before, I want to hopefully see everything first and make a decision on what you do and don't like.
Yep.
Okay.
Sounds great.
And what about, I have a lot of people that really care about where the laundry room is. Do you have a preference on if the laundry room is in the basement or main level?
I guess I don't care.
Okay.
It would be amazing if it was up on the main level, kind of near the bedrooms if possible, but I guess if I had to walk downstairs to do laundry, it'd be okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else that you can think of that I haven't asked you about the house specifically that would be important to you?
I just would like to make sure it had a bathtub.
Okay.
My girlfriend just bought a house across town and hers doesn't have a bathtub and she kind of regrets that.
Right.
So it's got 2 showers but nowhere to, have a soak. So
Okay.
I do think I'd like a bathtub.
So just a regular bathtub, and
Yeah.
we're not talking like a jetted whirlpool.
No, just at least a bathtub.
Okay.
Just
All right.
something, yeah. Other than that, I don't know if it had a fireplace. That'd be kind of cool. I
Okay.
like fireplaces.
Okay.
And I don't care if it's wood burning or gas or anything. I don't really care. I just always thought it'd be cool to have one.
Okay.
So other than that, I don't.
What about basement?
Oh,
What if we found a house
Yeah.
that was on a slab? Is a basement a requirement?
a basement is kind of a requirement.
Okay.
Yeah, we're in
You'll
Tornado
make it.
Alley here,
Right,
and
yes.
I want to make sure I have a place to go.
Okay.
But also, if that basement could be finished, or
Okay.
at least part of it was finished, that'd be helpful too. I could have 2 living spaces.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Okay. Perfect. Well, we'll have to see where your budget is and see how we can fit all of that into the budget.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So as we've talked through this, what concern, fear do you have about moving forward with buying a house?
I'm just concerned I'm gonna make a mistake. Like, I don't know anything about houses.
Right.
I've never bought one. It's a lot of money. I've been working really hard to get my credit up there and save money. So I'm just concerned that I just don't want to buy the wrong house. I don't want to make a mistake.
Right.
But
Understandable. Well,
Yeah.
that's why you have an agent working for you. Obviously,
Okay.
I do this all the time. So,
Okay, good.
I
so you know what a good house looks
know
like.
what a good
or-
house looks like. And plus, we have the home inspectors that are going to come in and check everything from top to bottom. We can always bring extra people in as needed after that home inspection. We have that 10-day window to have anybody come in that we need to. So
Okay.
if something comes up, maybe they say that the plumbing might need to be looked at. I have a plumber who will come out and look at things for free and let
Oh,
us
wow.
know if there are things that might need to be fixed. So
Okay.
definitely.
Well, another concern I had was I'm hearing that I heard you say that the houses are going pretty quick. So I see that. I've been looking on Zillow and stuff, and the houses are going very fast. But I've also heard people say that we have to pay more than the house is priced for, or something like that. Like people are paying extra money or something. Like, I don't know what.
People are, but that doesn't mean that you have to be able to
Okay.
get a house.
Okay.
Okay. Like I kind of talked about the appraisal process, right? So
Mhm.
what I do before, when you find the perfect house that you say you want to put an offer in on, I will go through and then put on my appraiser hat. And I have a ton of different hats that I have to put on, okay? So I will go through and look at things that have sold. And typically what I will come to you and say is, okay, Brandy, so based on this house and what has sold in the last 6 months, this is the maximum price that I think this house could appraise for.
Okay.
And based on that, you can decide what it is you want to offer,
Okay.
okay?
Okay.
Unless you have cash reserves, you're not probably going to offer over what that max appraisal value could be,
Okay.
okay?
Okay.
And yes, there are people that are moving here from California and Colorado that they've just sold their $1 million houses, so they have cash to burn, and so they are throwing a ton of extra money at properties and agreeing to pay anything over appraisal value.
Oh gosh.
Yes. So that doesn't mean that you have to.
Okay.
I have plenty of other clients that have gotten accepted contracts just going the appraisal value.
Okay.
Okay, we do have to get a little creative with some other things. So, maybe we maybe there's in its present condition, maybe we say that, we're gonna get an inspection, we're always gonna get an inspection. I never recommend my clients to waive inspections, but there is a line that says, that you're gonna do an inspection and you can still ask for things that are wrong, but the seller doesn't have to agree.
Okay.
So we can throw in different things to make it more enticing. We can shorten the inspection window. Say we're gonna do all of our inspections in 7 days versus 10 days. We can throw in pizza on the day of closing that we're gonna give to the seller.
Okay.
If the sellers have pets, dogs, I have a company called the Poo Squad, and we could have them go pick up poop for a month for the sellers.
Oh my gosh.
We can do we can be very, very creative to try to, make our offer stand out from all of the other ones that are gonna be presented.
Okay, well that's good to know, because I was kind of worried that I don't want to give all my savings to this if I can, because I'm going to need to, I'm going to buy furniture, I got to buy curtains, I got to buy a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And, once you talk to the lender, we'll have a lot better idea. Like, I try not to get really involved in my clients' finances.
Okay.
But in this market, it is helpful for me to know, do you maybe have an extra $500, maybe an extra $1,000, where we would be able to do something a little bit more enticing to the seller. Maybe if it doesn't appraise, you're saying we'll pay $500 or $1,000 over the appraisal value.
Okay.
So those things we can certainly talk about more once your lender has gone through and looked at all of your finances. And if the top of your value is 200, we're not going to look at 200. We're going to probably look at up to 180. We're going to give some room there, so that if we need to go over, we have the ability to go over in your loan.
Okay. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Okay.
It makes sense. The last question I had was, I was talking to my dad the other day, and he was telling me something about a home warranty.
Yes.
Something like that?
Yes, so that is something that we can absolutely ask for. I actually have, there's a whole bunch of different home warranty companies. One of the ones I recommend, I have a flyer in here for them. That is something you could ask the seller to purchase for you. Typically they run anywhere between $500 and $700 for a year. So just depending on our offer, that's something we can ask for them to pay for.
Oh, they can pay for it.
Yes.
Maybe. Okay.
Yes. But again, in this market, we want clean offers. Like, the less we ask for, the better, unless you're going over. Because if you ask for them to pay for a home warranty, for example, that's coming out of their proceeds. So if we're able to, we might want to increase your loan amount by that. So you would essentially still be paying for it, just over the course of 30 years, so it would only be a couple of dollars.
Okay.
But you also have the ability to purchase this on your own.
Oh.
So
Okay.
you always have that ability. But yeah, it's just kind of going to depend on the house and the situation that we're in on if I would recommend asking for a home warranty.
Okay.
And that's going to change for each different house. But yes, something we will talk about when the time comes to put in offers.
Okay.
Okay?
Awesome.
So I'm just kind of going over the rest of the stuff. I have these feedback forms in here for you so that when you're looking at houses, you can write down what you liked and what you don't like. Because once you see 2 or 3, you're gonna forget everything that you saw from the one before. Here's this typical inspection. So again, goes with a list of all the inspections that you could possibly get.
Oh gosh,
That's a lot of them. Yes. Then, obviously I work by referral since Tom and Sue referred you to me. So this kind of goes over why I work by referral. It prevents me from having to cold call people, and plus I get to work with amazing people like them and now you.
Yeah.
So here's some 10 deadly mistakes that buyers make when purchasing a home. So things not to do while you're in the process. This is, it's called Homekeeper. It's an app you can download on your phone. It's got all of my preferred vendors in there. So after you purchase the house, let's say something happens with the plumbing and you need to call a plumber. I have a couple different plumbers in there. You can just pull up the app, find them, and give them a call.
Nice.
They're already vetted and everything. Sweet. And then on this side, we have the lovely contracts, okay? So there's 2 different contracts in here. This is first contract. It's what we call the exclusive buyer agency contract. Okay. This is what allows me to work for you and negotiate on your behalf. This next one in here is 16 pages long. It's the fun one that we would fill out when you go in to offer on a house.
Oh, okay.
So I include these, and I do want to go over this one with you real quickly, just so that you are aware of what is included. Typically, we do everything electronic, so electronic signatures. That way it's just easier. We don't have to try to meet up somewhere for you to wet sign everything. So I provide these so that you have a chance to see what it is that you're signing before the time comes. So we'll go over this one because it's only 6 pages long. We'll save this one until we've seen a couple of houses.
Sure.
And then I can go over it and let you know what's included so that when the time comes for you to offer, you know what you're signing, and we can get it done pretty quickly and get an offer submitted.
Great.
Okay?
Yeah.
So again, this one is the contract that allows me to work for you. So I'm not gonna ask you to sign this right now. Typically what I like to do with my clients is to go see a couple of houses first, make sure that you feel comfortable with me, that we will get along fine, and then at that point in time, I'll ask you to sign this. But it absolutely has to be signed before we put in an offer.
Okay, for sure.
So it's gonna have your name up here, and then it's gonna have Keller Williams Platinum Partners, which is my broker. Okay, we're gonna designate that it's a residential, probably just put Missouri, and then we'll do the price range based on what the lender gives us.
Yep.
Okay, typically I do 6 months, so that gives us 6 months to find you the perfect house and get it under contract and sold. Okay,
So that doesn't take 6 months, but
it doesn't usually.
Okay.
But, just to be safe, we had to do a little bit longer for buyers.
Okay.
So different things that you agree to here, or your representation. So essentially, the main one here is just saying that you have not signed this contract with any other agent.
Nope.
So perfect.
You're the only one I've talked to.
Okay. And broker's obligations, you can see there's a whole bunch more broker obligations than there are buyer representations. Okay. So essentially, what this says is that I'm gonna seek terms that are acceptable to you, price that's acceptable to you, deliver any information that I have regarding the house to you. I have to disclose any confidential information that I get once we're under this contract. I also have to disclose any adverse effects that I know about the house. So if I know that it has termites, I have to disclose that to you.
Okay, good.
Okay,
Yep.
so then compensation. So again, we've kind of talked about this. You don't pay for that unless we have that small instance where the for sale by owner. And again, you're gonna have to sign another piece of paper saying that you agree to pay for that, for my compensation.
What if I can't, I don't think I could do that.
So
maybe we don't buy that house, or?
yeah, I mean, that would definitely be a bridge that we would cross when we get there. Like I said, 99% of the time, you're not gonna have to worry about it.
Okay.
So it's not something that I would stress about.
Okay.
If it comes up and we find one, we will figure out some way to make sure that you get the house that you want.
Okay,
Okay?
perfect, thank you.
Absolutely. This here states that if you decide to buy a house after 90 days of this contract terminating, one of the houses that I showed you, I still would get my commission.
Okay,
Okay?
that's fair.
Yeah. Okay. Then we go into the different ways in which you can be represented by an agent. Okay? So there are quite a few. The first one is a buyer agency. So pretty much the way that I like to describe this is that there's like 300 agents at this office. Okay? A buyer agency means that really any one of those could represent you. It's not designated to one person.
Okay.
Okay? And that is not what we're doing. Okay?
Okay.
A transaction broker, this is somebody who is not representing anyone. So they are essentially just doing paperwork.
Oh,
Okay? So that is not what we're doing either.
Okay.
Okay?
That's so weird they put that in there.
Yeah. A sub-agent is a agent of an agent. Okay, we're not doing that one either.
Not doing that, okay.
Disclosed dual agency, you'll see it says Missouri only, but my brokerage does not allow me to do that. So essentially it's saying that the agent is representing both sides, the buyer and the seller.
That seems like a conflict of
It
interest.
is, right?
Oh, okay.
So it is not allowed in my brokerage, and I wouldn't do it even if it were. So obviously we're not doing that.
Not doing that.
So designated agency. So on this, it will have my name listed. So essentially, I'm the only agent within this office that's going to be representing you. Okay.
Yep.
So I will say, obviously, sometimes if people get sick, we go on vacation. So there might be times when I might be gone. I do have agents that help me
Okay.
if those situations arise. So you're never going to be on your own. Okay.
Okay,
So
good.
I have those people backing me up in case I need that.
Okay, good.
And then this last page, buyer's identity. I do try to protect your identity as much as possible. Obviously, your name's going to be on the contract. I will have to use your email address to do electronic signatures, but I will try the best that I can to keep everything else confidential.
Okay, great.
Okay? Legal and professional advice. I am not an attorney. I am not a tax accountant. So if you have questions that I am not able to answer, I will refer you to the expert.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
And then lastly, cyber protection. So I don't know if you watch the news, there's horror stories about, because once you do something, like you look on Facebook, you're searching something not on Facebook, right? And then you go on Facebook and you see an ad for that item that you're looking for.
Yep. Yep.
Well, people know when you get involved in a real estate transaction, and they can make emails look very real. And there have been instances where people have received emails from title companies asking them to wire funds. So never, ever, ever do that. No title company will ever email you and ask you to wire funds without having a conversation with you ahead of time and or sending that in a secure email.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if something like that comes up and you have a question before you do anything, please just ask me.
You got it.
Okay? And then this last page is just the signature page.
Oh,
Okay? So, what questions do you have for me about any of the stuff we've talked about?
When can we start?
As soon as you talk to a lender.
Okay.
So, included in here is my recommendation list. So, there's like 4 or 5 different lenders. Like I said, all of them are amazing. You can get pre-approved with a couple of them if you want to, just to
How long does that
see
process take?
24 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I would recommend is take a look at them if you want to look them up online, do some research on them before you apply. Just let me know which one or ones that you apply to. That way I can call them and say, hey, this person just filled an application, she's mine, and they'll get to it sooner rather than later.
Oh, nice.
Okay?
Wow,
And
very good.
don't feel like you can't apply to more than one. As long as you do it within 30 days, it's not going to affect your credit.
Oh,
Because
okay.
they are going to pull your credit.
Yep.
So if you do, let's say 2, if you apply at 2, after 30 days, that hit that your credit took from both of them, the second one's going to fall off. So it is going to affect it for one pull, but not multiples.
So there's a house like over on 3rd Street that just went on the market, and I was hoping to look at it, but maybe because I don't know how much it is. Like I don't.
Right.
So maybe I should wait.
I would wait just
Okay.
because I would hate for, let's say it's listed for 300 and you only get approved for 250. You're gonna fall in love with that house, and then every other house that we look at, you're gonna compare to that one. And so
That's pretty cute.
Yeah, I really want to know where you are with your pricing before we take the lead to actually look at something.
Okay.
So you
It
could
makes sense.
call them.
So I need to call the lender today.
You could do it today, and if
Okay.
it's still on the market tomorrow, we could go look at
I'll
it
look
tomorrow.
at it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, makes total sense. You've been so helpful. I don't even have any other questions. So.
Perfect.
All right.
Well, it was great meeting you, and let's go see that house tomorrow.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks, Austin.